done a little bit of progress since we started last in the video. Figured I'd bring you guys along here. Gutted all the interior in it, took everything out. And I guess I should explain my plan for what I'm doing here, really, to fix all this with that other cab. Is like I said before, this is the seam where we bonded, or where the factory bonded this cab to the back half that was fabricated. And from here up, this line up is a pretty much a factory standard cab. And so what I'm going to do is, there's spot welds in here. There's one, but initially I'm not going to cut those out. I'm going to cut just ahead of it, just to get the cab out of the way. Cut just ahead of it, and then we're going to come up into the A-pillar, because there is just a little bit of rust here. Probably come up about to here in it. Cut it here, and the same on the other side. So it'll be just putting pretty much a front piece in here. Other than that, I am going to have to weld some braces in here before I go cutting this all apart. Excuse me. Just weld a brace from here all the way up to the A-pillar right before my cut, just to steady the roof. We don't want anything moving on us while we're cutting, before we piece the other cab in. So, but this is all, there's nothing left into it but a little dash pad or pad they put behind there. There wasn't much left to it anyway. The mice had got to it a good bit. But that's that pretty much. This cab's about as tore down as I really need it to be. But as far as this cab, I do need to take the heater box is still in it. I got to take the heater box out, and the heater controls are over there. But there's not too much to do on this either. So I'm gonna finish taking the heater box out, do all that, get it ready. I am gonna mark this cab off. I have it marked. I do have a mark there and a mark there on the other side. I measured up from this seat bolt. Just figuring that the seat bolt's a good standard place to measure from on this cab, and the other cab, the location is really not going to change. So measuring up from here to here will be the same. I measured up on the other cab, the old cab, and to where that seam is, and I added 1.5 inches to this, because if you look over on this cab, the design of it, you can see that. Yeah, you can. But the cab actually fits underneath it there. And there's about 1 inch overhang, but I added 1.5 inches because, you know what, it better have more than not enough, that's for sure. So I could always trim it down if I need to, but I really don't think I'm going to need to. That extra 1/2 inch will probably just tuck under there and it'll look factory again. But the good thing about this is that that body mount is pretty much going to center that new section right in there. I mean, obviously the body mount's rubber mounted. It can move a little bit, but it is going to get it pretty doggone close to where it needs to be. I'll bolt the cab, or that new section, down on, and that'll be that. There won't be much else, to move as far as getting everything to line up. The floor shouldn't matter too much here. Like I said, it'll push back under here, and we won't really have an issue. You could always, plus or minus this. This floor is not going to make any difference. Where it would make difference is this B pillar here, fitting it in about the same spot, and the A pillar in about the same spot. But I'm going to cut on the new cab a little higher, and then when we get it fit in here, we just slowly trim it down and get it pieced in there and weld it in. But that's that. Originally, my design or my thoughts for this was to put just a piece in here. Just try to piece this side in, but the more I looked at it, the more it wasn't really worth fighting that. And then going on the other side and fighting rust over there, really, it's just more of the same. So I might as well just get it all in one shot. And the firewall does have some pinholes in it. It could have been patched, but it would have been a big pain. That way you're just cutting all the rust out of it. And there will be some minor patches in the rear here. Right there is a small hole. But other than that, few holes right there. But we'll cut a section of that out and get the rust out of that. But the rear section of this is in good shape. So that's why we're doing this way and not trying to find a whole cab for it. And like I said before, finding a 4-door cab I think would be pretty difficult and not too cost effective. Whereas when I bought this truck, I worked into the deal that part of the deal was that I got a good cab with the truck. Obviously it's not a 4-door cab, but I don't really care too much about that. Like I said, I'm just going to piece it in here. And that's about it. So I'll give you guys an update whenever I get some progress.